From Storm Tracker 6, this is Forecast First, sponsored by Auto Owners Insurance. Simple human sense.
We're waking up with some very mild temperatures across the area. Temperatures still into the 70s, 74 degrees in both Lansing and Grand Ledge, 73 degrees in Jackson, 73 degrees down into Hillsdale. Our dew points are still very sticky. We're seeing them into the upper 60s to low 70s. We'll see them there for the whole day. And in fact, we're starting to see those clouds increase, and we could see some clouds as well as the chance for a shower and even a thunderstorm as we head into the afternoon and evening. We'll see temperatures warming right back up into the 80s, and I'll be tracking all the details you need on those showers and storms moving in just a little bit. 6 News this morning starts right now.
WLNS is here for you, celebrating 75 years of bringing you the news with 6 News this morning.
President Trump and the First Lady now promising support for flood victims in Central Texas. Good morning, Mid-Michigan, and thank you for waking up with us. It's Saturday, July 12th. I'm Karina Prieto, and we're here for you now with this morning's top stories. President Trump and the First Lady toured the devastation in Texas caused by the deadly flash flooding that happened over a week ago. While there, the president defended the emergency response to the disaster as the search for victims continues. Wendy Gillette is here for you now with the latest on those search efforts.
Music, flowers, and candles brought a community together at a vigil in Kerr County, Texas, where survivors recounted their harrowing stories.
I held on for a couple hours in a tree.
And tears were shed for those killed or missing, their pictures lining a fence.
You weep about the kids and just like the parents and what they are going through.
A week after the floods, the wrenching search is still ongoing for more than 170 people, with over 2,100 involved in the rescue effort.
There's really no place to walk on the riverbanks, so you're sliding up and down, you're holding branches to keep out of the water.
President Trump and the First Lady visited the area Friday, meeting with first responders and taking photos with them.
I've never seen anything like it. I've seen a lot of bad ones. I've gone to a lot of hurricanes, a lot of tornadoes. I've never seen anything like this.
He bristled when asked about a lack of warning as the water rose.
Only a very evil person would ask a question like that.
Texas Governor Greg Abbott says a disaster warning system is in the works.
We are going to put together in a session beginning in 10 days the abilities to ensure better preparation, better alerts, so that people will not be surprised like they were this time.
No survivors have been rescued in Kerr County since the day of the floods. Wendy Gillette, CBS News.
Well, in Washington, D.C., U.S. Senator Elissa Slotkin and several other Democratic lawmakers introduced new legislation requiring immigration officers to display identification during public enforcement operations. It's called the Visible Act and would require these officials to display clearly legible identification, including the agency name or initials and either the officer's name or badge number. It would also prohibit non-medical face coverings that obscure an officer's identity, but includes exceptions for environmental hazards or covert operations. ICE agents are currently allowed to cover their faces, arrive in unmarked vehicles, and don't have to provide identification. Slotkin argues that there needs to be more transparency with law enforcement, saying there has been an increase of reports of individuals impersonating ICE officers. However, others say that the secrecy is necessary to protect agents from doxing and increasing threats. A challenge to Michigan's decades-long ban on publicly funded abortions for low-income residents is rejected by a judge, ruling that the group filing the lawsuit had no standing for it. The lawsuit was filed by the YWCA of Kalamazoo, which pays for abortions for women in southwestern Michigan. The group that filed the lawsuit argues that more than 75% have incomes that would qualify them for state support if Medicaid-funded abortions were allowed. Nevertheless, the judge had an 18-page long opinion on the matter, saying as a nonprofit organization, they had no reproductive freedoms and had no business challenging the issue. Meanwhile, Attorney General Dana Nessel announces she is suing the Hummingbird Construction Company and its owner, Matthew Ashline, for, quote, ripping off multiple customers who live in Eaton County. She said this was done by accepting deposits for construction projects that never started and then failing to return that money. The lawsuit claims that this conduct violated the Michigan Consumer Protection Act and is asking the court to dissolve Hummingbird Construction and require it to repay affected customers. Well, Michigan State Police are now boosting security at the state capitol after rock musician and Michigan native Ted Nugent carried a firearm inside the building. Last month, Nugent appeared before a joint committee hearing requesting accountability for the Michigan Department of Natural Resources. However, as he testified, our media partners at MLive report that lawmakers noticed Nugent had a firearm on his person despite guns being banned in the Capitol. MSP says the weapons detection system at the north entrance was alerted of a possible weapon when Nugent entered the building, but that the sole trooper at the entrance didn't notice it until after he left the screening area. Officials say another trooper is now staffing that entrance to help with screening visitors.
From Storm Tracker 6, this is Weather on the Sixes, sponsored by Auto Owners Insurance. Simple human sense.
Well, if you're up and early this morning, you're going to notice that it is very humid outside. You're going to also notice that if you're heading to your car, it's probably going to be a little bit foggy, as we're seeing some very hot and mild dew points as well. Temperatures right now are into the 70s, 74 in Lansing, 73 in Charlotte and Mason, as well as Jackson, 72 degrees in Hillsdale. We have a level 2 out of 5 risk for severe weather today. That's just going to be some gusty winds and some very heavy rainfall possible, depending on whether or not we can see just a little bit of some sunshine. Right now we're seeing mostly cloudy skies. Those clouds are going to continue throughout the day. That's as this low pressure system works its way through. A lot of rain is being felt across the Upper Peninsula, but here in mid-Michigan, we're staying dry, and we are going to continue to see the chance for some scattered showers and storms move in later this afternoon. As you see, by 11 o'clock, we're still remaining dry, partly cloudy. Then as we head into the afternoon and evening, a cold front moves through, and that's when we could see the chance for some showers and storms move through, and some of those could be on the stronger side with gusts up to 60 miles per hour. Now, I think we're going to continue to see those showers move to the east, but for today, we're going to see the chance for just those gusty winds and those chances for some very heavy rains. Temperatures will be into the 80s today, with our dew points quite high, so it's still going to feel very sticky for today, unfortunately. So again, just have multiple ways to receive alerts. Keep an eye to the sky, and maybe even download our 6 News weather app.
Absolutely, yeah. I wasn't expecting that fog this morning. I even had a little bit of like a layer on my car. I even had to use the windshield wipers to get it off.
I had the windshield wipers on for most of my drive-in just because it was so hot and humid, but that's just going to continue for the day, and we'll see just the chance for those showers continue.
All right, well, thank you, Kelsey. And coming up after the break, we'll head over to California, where immigration raids continue to ramp up. That'll be right after this break. The time is 6:07. Thank you for watching 6 News This Morning.